Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha and today we are going to be doing a dance analysis for the Boyz, which we haven't done in quite a while. I'm so excited to be getting back into the groove of things and especially covering the Boyz. I've started a new series on my channel called K-Pop Comeback Catch-Up, where I do almost a weekly, but not quite, as often as I can, a wrap-up of all of the new music videos that have come out. And in the video that's actually coming out today, the day that I'm filming, I covered Lip Gloss. This music video was insanely fun to experience and to watch. This was such a new, exciting direction for the Boyz to take, and I was screaming and squealing and just had the best time watching it ever. I also loved the choreography that we got to see at the end of the music video and a little bit sprinkled throughout. So what my plan is for today's video is to watch the lip gloss dance practice moving version first, because that will be the most fun and engaging one to watch. Then we're gonna watch the fix version, and we might watch that one twice while I take notes and try and analyze as much as I can. Before we get started, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on my channel and my videos. I do really appreciate it. I also wanted to mention I've been trying to live stream once a week where I just do a little chit chat and color with me. It's really relaxing for me, and people who have been joining me have said they have a really good time either working on some school projects or studying or working on their own art projects with me. So if you have time, definitely check it out. They all go up to my live stream little, if you go to my channel, I think there's videos, playlists, live streams, things like that, and they will be listed under live streams. If you can't catch them live, you can always catch them on the replay. But I would definitely love to see more of you guys in the live streams, and you can ask me questions in the chat. We can talk about music, books, shows, movies, whatever you guys want to chat about. So join me over there if you can. All right, let's jump into this. We're doing the moving version first. I'm not going to take notes. I'm just going to enjoy and immerse myself, get this song back in my brain, see a little bit more of the choreography, and just have such a good time. Here we go. I love the shirts. Ooh, 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 ooh. I should have made sure that this was on advanced mode because it's a little blurry, but I'll be fine. I can survive. It's okay. I'm not starting it over. Every time! Every time! This is really groovy for them. Interesting. This choreography is so interesting to me because it's a mix of really fun and still really technical. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Jacob's getting it in that front corner over there. Let's go, Eric! Okay, here's Thrill Ride. I love that they're incorporating their past songs and dance choreography. It's like a little Easter egg. I can't stand him. The actual worst. Ooh, 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 ooh. I feel like they really used Younghoon's acting abilities for this entire concept. Oof. Oh my god! The camera is so good! I love his haircut. I'll say it every time. The color of the cut, it's so good. It's my favorite look he's ever had that I've seen. I haven't seen all of them. What are they? That's fun. I like that. All I want is you, somebody. There it is! There it is! I love their outfits too. That was so good. Oh my god! Oh my gosh, I can't remember if I mentioned it when I watched the music video, but this is such a fun concept for them, and you can just tell how much fun they're having. I know I've watched maybe one or two of their more light-hearted concepts from closer to their debut. Why can't I think? Bloom Bloom, is that right? That's got to be one of them. And then there was another one I watched. I can't remember the title of it. But it's nice to see them have such a light, exciting, airy side to them. I feel like the recent concepts we've had before this, while I am the queen of darkness and I love dark fantasy style concepts, like we had the vampire type concept, we had like a Marvel type concept, we had Maverick, we had all these really intense, really fun, for me, concepts. Now, though, they're kind of getting to relax and just enjoy themselves and really have like a fun, summery vibe. And I am so happy that they get to experience that. And sometimes you definitely need to switch it up in your career instead of just being dark, 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 dark. Like, you do have to bring some light and some energy and refresh yourself and remember why you're doing this, to have fun, hopefully. We're gonna go into the fixed version. I'm gonna watch it once and maybe not take notes the first time because I couldn't see formations as well as I would have liked to, which I knew was going to happen in the moving version anyway. So prepare yourselves to watch this twice with me. Here we go! Will Sang-yeon and Sunwoo destroy me every single time we watch this? Probably. Lip gloss, wanna taste your lip gloss, hey. And I also like when they do the hey, they do the hey. There's a lot in this where they almost float a little bit, or like I don't know how to describe it yet, but it's one of my favorite things that they're doing. So let's watch the fixed version. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Look at how they, ooh! I couldn't even finish that thought before something new happened. It's so interesting because they keep doing such just like, oh, there it was. They keep doing such it's such a good combination of like easier movements with really technical stuff. The formations in this, wow. They're doing a lot of lines, just not always horizontal. And a lot of groups. Groups like within everyone on stage. Like that was 1, 2, 3, 4 groups there that we just had. The energy in this section. Here we go, here we go. Someone just threw something. Was it a hat? What was that? I was not. I was looking at Eric and then I just saw something go whoosh. This song is so addictive. I love that. Again with the lines. This is so interesting to me because I was really trying to notice when they repeat choreography, and the only 2 times I could recognize a repeating movement to their lyrics was on the hey and the hey. Those are the only 2 times I was like, that's exactly the same as what they did before. And I think the main problem I'm having, and it's not a bad problem, it's just like this is why I can't pinpoint it, is because each time they repeat either like the chorus or whatever phrases repeat in the song, they're in completely different formations every time. So it's hard for me to recognize that this is the same feet and arms and everything is the same, because the first time we get it, they're all facing us, facing the front in a normal, traditional formation. The next time I can remember it happening, they're all facing a corner, so we're getting a side slice section of their bodies. So it's harder for me to be like, okay, but is that the exact same movement we had when they were facing us this way? Like, the only thing I could recognize was when they went, hey. And it's just, I'm trying to look for when they repeat the choreography and I haven't found it yet. So that is really kind of driving me nuts in like a fun, good way, because maybe they aren't repeating it as much as I think they should be. I don't know, they kind of need to be repeating it though, right? Like they do a similar thing. I don't know, it's so weird because then we also get all the different line transitions and I'm trying to think, do they do that same like kick, swing, to then split and the front line does one thing and the back line does another thing? Do they do that same thing when they all stay in the line, kick, swing, and then also do they do the same thing before they do the thrill ride part where they're in the line in the diagonal? I have so many questions and I don't think I'm gonna get them answered by watching it one more time, but I'm gonna take notes and just tell you as much as I possibly can. So we're gonna watch it again together. Here we go. They kind of do that slow motion part more than once. So much of this is traditional, fundamental dance steps. This is repeating choreography. Da, da, da. Okay, so only one person did it. That's why it's different. This is repeating choreography. This is new. Well, the clap up they've done before, but that... This is new. This is new. I was repeating that. This is all new. Most of the choreography doesn't repeat. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, it didn't really answer... Well, it did and it didn't answer my question. So, let's just discuss some of the things I noticed. I feel like I'm gonna have sort of an interesting take on this choreography because most of the time, if it repeats, I can pick up more information and then explain more. But because this really doesn't repeat the way that a traditional K-pop choreography dance does, I'm a little bit at a loss of what to talk about. So I'm gonna do my best, so bear that in mind. The first thing I noticed is that we get two distinct freestyle sessions in, maybe three, now that I think about it, maybe three, in the choreography that the Boyz typically don't do. The very first one is the beginning. As they come on stage, they get almost a full 8 count to sort of just like vibe with each other and get into formation before they start the choreography. The other section is when it's choreographed like freestyle, where we have, I think it's New and Younghoon are off on the side. Everyone else is in a clump and they're sort of like step, bounce, bounce, step, bounce, bounce, do a pose and wait, step, bounce, bounce, step, bounce, bounce. Like, it's a choreographed freestyle section. But then towards the very end, right before we get the closing choreography, is when we get them like, woo! And just like partying and having such a good time and jumping up and down and being so energetic and vibrant. And yes, I really haven't seen the Boyz do freestyle like that. The Boyz, in my mind, are known for synchronicity and for always just matching each other so well. So for them to get those moments of release is kind of, again, why this feels so fun and refreshing and necessary for them at this point in their career. So very interesting that that was deliberately part of this choreography. Something they do a lot in the formations, we already talked about the lines a little bit, so I'm not going to mention it again, but I really enjoyed the way that they played with groups within the full unit of all the members. The thing they do the most is creating like an outer circle or an outer V with an inner clump in the middle, where the inner clump will be doing a piece of choreography, either like down, and the outer, like outside group will be doing something up or just sort of opposite. We also get that same formation style again when the inner group does something and the outer group reacts to it by pushing out and away, sort of making just like an explosion of energy out from like the nucleus of the group. There was some fun choreography in here that was a little bit sporty. When they have, this is another formation thing that they did a lot, where they would have two sides of the room sort of like battling each other throughout the choreography, and the one thing they do is like a basketball dribble, like dribble, 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 and then they did like push, push, and then the other side would go dribble, 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 push, push. Like, I just thought it was so interesting that we were getting a little bit of a sporty reference, especially when in the music video itself, they were sort of, while trying to woo this person, doing different activities and sports and skateboarding, surfing, all that kind of stuff. So it was interesting to see an actual, like, athletic reference in the choreography. There were so many, I would say probably close to 10 distinct movements that are fundamental dance style movements. Like, it would be one of the first things you learn if you took a beginner dance class. One of the ones that stood out to me this last time we were watching it is, I'm going to try and describe it with my hands, but my hands are their feet. So, best of luck to all of us understanding this. They do step, and it's their so this would be their left leg. Their right leg comes in front, and it's going to be heel, and then they dig out. So heel, push out, and then they do step with that front leg to the back, heel, push out. Step, heel, step, heel, step, heel, step, heel. Does that kind of make sense? Look for it in the choreography. See if you can pick up on what I'm trying to describe. That is a very fundamental dance move that we all kind of learn, I feel like, right away. It's definitely part of the beginner, like, fundamental. I don't know any other word. You just learn it when you're learning dance for the first time. The other thing that's a fundamental move is from the pop lock genre of dance. I think it's called Scubat? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'll type it on the screen. It's where they do this like out, cross, up, down. Everyone, if you've ever done any type of hip hop ever, you've probably done that movement before. It translates into so many different things. You can do it so many different ways. There was the other section where they do the kick, 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 and then jump over that leg and keep that leg in the air the whole time. That's another fundamental piece of hip hop that you would see quite often. They even had some whacking sections, which again could go back to the pop locking. And I think it was Q where he's on center and does like a throw up, throw down. But I can't remember what, I think it might be close to this part. I can't really remember. But again, another fundamental movement that was just like glaringly coming out at me. So let's talk about how they did or did not repeat parts of this dance, because I find that so fascinating. So I started to answer the question of, are they repeating this at all? When we see it the first time, they're doing it as an entire group. When we get to this part the second time, it's one member, and I think it was Eric, who is on center, everyone else is crouched down, and he does the first 4 counts exactly the same as when they all did it originally. the second 4 counts of that 8 count, so you have the first half and then the second half, he changes it up a little bit, and then the rest of it is totally different, and then they're on the ground sort of going like, oh, doing that part still. So that's one reason why I couldn't recognize it when we were watching it the first few times, is because to go from having an entire group doing the same choreography to having one person doing part of the same choreography, very hard to pinpoint, very hard to pick out. And then later on, when we get the same part in the song, they do not repeat the choreography. The only things they repeat, which I already mentioned, is sort of like the body control, and it's not always this movement with their arms straight out or this movement on those like ooh, 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 those like long notes. Those are the only things that are sort of like floating that way. This choreography is so much fun. There's so much that's really interesting in this to me. I love the float down, down. That's one of my favorite things that they do. I also love the shoulder thing that they do, where they're like controlling their shoulder with their other arm. I think that's so cool. I think it's sick. Oh my gosh, it's so, the best way to explain this choreography, I think, is take the part where Sanu comes out, and it's so purely the Boyz, like, maverick, stealer, intense choreography sort of out of nowhere, and then compare it to the part where they're like, step, step, pose, step, step, pose. Like, that is the contrast that is everywhere in this choreography, because they will throw in really challenging, very quick, technical, what's the other word, musicality out of nowhere in this choreography, and then just go back to like step, clap, and it's giving me a little bit of whiplash, but in the best way. So I think that's why I'm so drawn to this choreography. Also, the song is so addictive, so I loved it. I had a great time. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and at the very least you learned they don't really repeat the choreography, which is so weird to me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!